a 1250 elo grades game. I know I've done grades before, and I like to kind of spread out what champions I do, but I just don't have many replays right now. It's the first order of business. I need more replays, so anyone, if you've submitted a replay to me and I haven't done it, you know, it wasn't personal. You know, I'm not like, oh, I'm never going to do a replay from this guy. So just try to submit a new one. If you submitted a replay to me and I've done one, you can still submit more replays to me. There's nothing wrong with that. But I need more replays, so please submit them. Some things you can do to make sure that you have a higher chance of me selecting your replay. Make sure to put all the information I ask for on my website. You can look on the, just go to rockalockalily.com and then click the contact me / submit a replay tab, and that'll give you all the instructions there. But that's how you need to submit a replay to me. Let me pause this real quick. As far as other things, orders of business and all that, I don't have too many here. I can't really think of any, so I just need more replays, so please give me your replays. Go to my website, rockalockalily.com, and then click the submit a replay tab. That'll have your information. Please follow all those instructions to ensure that I am most likely to cast your replay. But I guess if nothing else, I'm just going to go ahead and get started on this replay. So we see you are Graves Janna against Tarek Corky. So one of the first things to note is, you have a summoner spell advantage in lane. This Tarek has teleport, whereas your Janna has exhaust. So in lane, that's going to make you much stronger when fighting. The other thing to note is that they have some sustain. Tarek's sustain is not that great, but they definitely have some sustain. So you have to be a little careful when you're trading. Just keep in mind that they do have a way to sustain that HP back, while you do not outside of potions and lifesteal. So. But you know, both Graves and Corky are high burst damage champions during lane. They both have, you know, a lot of abilities that give them very high damage output. It should be a pretty even lane for you guys. It's going to really come down to skill matchup. You always want to make check on the jungle. So there is a Jarvan jungle. Jarvan can start on his blue and then immediately come gank bottom. Jarvan ganks are very strong, and so that is something you have to be careful of. Just be aware that that's very likely that Jarvan will start his blue and then just, come right down there to gank you. Janna doesn't need to ward red. Jarvan's not really. So you're saying like Janna ward red? I mean, I guess it's a Mumu, so Mumu can get counter jungled really easily, but if he gets counter jungled, it's going to be by Jarvan, and Jarvan's not the best counter jungler. He's not very fast clear time, he gets a little low, you know, he's not a very strong counter jungler, so wouldn't be that worried about it. I mean, it's not a horrible idea to ward the red buff, but so good idea to just buckshot that brush to make sure they're not waiting in there. It's just a good safe play. So in this matchup, Corky is already auto attacking the lane, so his lane is going to start pushing. You might, if you don't want the wave to hit your turret, you're going to want to balance this lane out. The other thing that's going to do is Corky's going to get level 2 before you, so you might want to counter auto attack to just balance this out. Oh, way too close to that Tarek. Surprised he didn't stun you. I don't know if maybe he didn't start with stun or what, but that was very, very dangerous of you. Once again, just getting really close to Tarek there for no reason. You could ask your Janna to ward that brush. Brush control is very important anytime you're playing against a Tarek. It doesn't look like he has stun yet. It's very odd. You just should be right-clicking him. There you go. And like, you can establish brush control right here. You can just go into that brush and get him out of there. And there's the stun. And that's like, that was your bad. Like, there's no reason for you to be out in that position. Like, you weren't last hitting. There's just literally no reason for you to be that close to the enemy minion line and that close to Tarek, who you know is in that brush. So Once again, getting into stun range for no reason on Taric, you can hang out over here on this edge and totally avoid that stun. The other thing is you should be right clicking Corki. Like, he's gonna go in for that cannon minion right there, and as he goes in for that cannon minion, you can last hit him. He's gonna go in for that. You can just right click him. He's gonna go in for this one. Like, you can be getting all these free right clicks on him because you're not last hitting anything, and he is very focused on getting these last hits. So you can right click him for free in that situation, or just buckshot him for free, and he's not gonna hit you back. So anytime you're laning, like especially bottom, like look at your minion's HP as well. So you missed a lot to that turret. I think you could have played that better. I don't think you needed to buckshot that. Good idea to use your potion before this gank comes so that you're nice and healthy. Janna needs to be really upfront here though, and Janna really needs to initiate this. So good face check. Taric stuns down. Good gank by Mumu. That's definitely going to be a dead Taric. So great gank by Mumu. You might be able to force a summoner out of Corki too. Looks like he already used his heal, but. Oh, the other thing, sorry, I didn't even notice. You always want to see what your lane matchup is doing for items. So Corki has that Doran's Blade, so that's another reason why like that harass while he's going in for last hits is so important, because Taric's sustain is not very good, and if you can harass this Corki down, like he's not really going to get that HP back except for through Taric heals. But so most Tarics want to level their W as opposed to their heal, and just rank 1 Taric heal does almost nothing. So anytime you see Corki, you know he's going to go in for a last hit, and you're not going in for a last hit. Like, he's going to last hit this before you have to last hit anything. And as he's going in for the last hits, that's when you harass. And like this Taric, don't let him get that close to you without auto-attacking him. Yeah, so good. Keep damaging that Corki. Like, he can't get that HP back. He has no sustain. There's no reason for you to run away. Like, you ran away like you're really scared, but like Taric, all of Taric's abilities were on cooldown. That was definitely like you could have killed Corki there, but you were just really, really afraid for some reason. Now once again, like right click Taric. Don't let Taric be able to get up on this minion wave. Every time he auto-attacks, he gets mana back, and it lowers the cooldown on his heals. So you don't want him up here auto-attacking minions. That's gonna help him out. Don't like, you're really low mana though. So when you're this low mana, you want to try to save your mana. Like, you didn't even hit Corki with that, and that's bad because Corki was down to like 100 HP, and you're letting him get it back because he's just sitting here auto-attacking minions, and you're letting Taric auto-attack to keep his mana up and reduce that cooldown on his heal. So he's getting all the sustain because you're letting like Taric sit on the front line, and you're letting Corki auto-attack everything. You're playing like really passive and really afraid, and you don't have to. Like, Taric stunned you, uses cooldowns. You didn't even take that much damage, and then you backed off. So you just need to be a little more aggressive with your right click harassing. Like, there are so many windows that you've had where you can right click that Corki right there because he's going in for a last hit. He's gonna go for this one, and right then you can right click Taric or right click Corki. Like, you should be right click harassing these guys all the time. That's something you really need to work on from your play already, that I can tell. You're not like, you don't understand how to harass. The only time you ever hit these guys is when you're fighting. But you need to get more damage and need to harass them. Janna needs to learn how to help you get these last hits too, and you need to learn how to get those last hits. So misplay by both of you to miss those last hits of the turret, but. Like, once again, like, don't let this Taric get so close. Like, why are you not right-clicking him? This Taric is just in your range all day without you attacking him. Like right-click him. Right there, right-click him. You've probably missed, like, 20 free auto-attacks worth of damage. And that's a lot of damage, you know? That's enough to force them back, or at least use potions, summoner spells, all that stuff. So you really need to work on understanding when you can harass and when you can't. Like, Corki's gonna go for one of these last hits very soon here. That's when you're free to harass, either the Taric or the Corki. Don't get that close to Taric either. No reason to get that close. Try not to use that Q damage on Tarek, because Tarek has potions. His heal heals himself for double when he uses it on himself. Try to use it on Corki. Let's see how you're doing last hitting wise. 50 last hits to 60. So you're behind on last hits for no reason even. You even killed the Corki or the Tarek and forced them back, and you're still behind on last hits just from missing them. So work on your last hitting. Just make some custom games and get really used to it. And I think a lot of them are coming from the turret, because you're misplaying how you're last hitting at the turret. And Janna's also not helping you, but you've done a pretty bad job. So work on that. Remember, like, you need to judge, you need to understand how much damage the turret does to each minion, and play that accordingly to use your abilities correctly. That Q was, there was no reason for that Q at all. You're really low mana, now you don't have enough for a combo. And that Q, it didn't hit any of them for harass, and it just, like, there's no reason for that Q. All it did was waste your mana. I don't like seeing that Q. Once again, like, you need to be harassing these guys. There's no reason not to. Like, that Tarek should not get that close to you. And like, there's the harass. There comes the harass. Amumu's there. Amumu's there. You guys are not reacting to the Amumu gank. So he even pinged it, and you guys just didn't react to it at all. He is level 6. That would have been double kill for you guys if you got up there and if you had mana. So once again, this is you, like, wasting mana. So that was he did ping, by the way. But this was a really big mistake by you. That was a completely free double kill for you guys. But because you had been wasting your mana for no reason, you didn't have any mana, and you didn't react at all to that gank. So if you were up there with mana, Amumu just would have ultied and you could have comboed and killed Corki. But yeah, you just you didn't react, and you didn't have mana because you're just wasting your mana. I'm pretty sure you did ping. But like, there's no excuse for that. Like, even if he didn't ping, like, he said it, and you guys should have enough map awareness so that you see that gank coming in. It's really bad timing for Janna to back. She's gonna miss this whole wave. No reason for you to, like, go up here tanking all that and all that damage. Very silly of you. Like, there's a time to try to freeze the lane outside your turret, but in the middle of, you know, 12 creeps and Corki and Tarek, you can't tank that. They're just gonna do way too much damage. So that was very silly. So, Zerker Greaves, Double Dorns, Vamp Scepter should be what you're going for. Okay, big mistake right here. Like, I have no idea why you're not buying a Vamp Scepter right now. You have enough money. It's good on you to buy a ward. That's good. But, like, you had enough money for a Vamp Scepter. You're with a Janna, so you don't have any natural sustain, and you didn't build a Vamp Scepter. That's such a huge mistake. Very poor decision by you. You needed to get that Vamp Scepter. So now you have item advantage on this Corki. Yeah, keep going. Like, I don't know why you're being so scared right now. You have huge item advantage on this Corki. Like, go on him. You have. I have no idea why you're so scared. You have huge item advantage since you just bought and spent 2.3k gold, and he hasn't bought yet. And you're out of mana, you don't have enough mana at all. So, okay, I'm seeing a lot of things that you need to work on really heavily in your gameplay. Your first is CS. Your CS is low. 76 isn't bad, but, like, you've had very little pressure in your lane. So there really isn't any reason to have less than perfect CS. Other than just missing it. So work on your CS, but it's not a big deal. The other really big thing you need to work on is just understanding, like, when you can harass and harassing correctly, because there have been you can just right click that Tarek right there. He didn't have stun. There's just been so many opportunities that you're not harassing for I don't know what reason, but it's really bad. Like, this Corki has had no pressure from you at all. So that was really good on that Janna to tornado him, and you weren't there. And then the third thing that you really need to work on is your mana control. Like, you have no mana most of the time. Like, this would be a dead Corki if you just manage your mana properly. But you really need to work on managing your mana. You know, try to, with Graves, your combo is so effective. Try to always have enough, keep enough mana for your QER at minimum. So, you know, that's 190 plus 50 is 240. Try to always stay at 240 mana. Like, that's the mana you always want to keep. So that way, you know, you can EQR really quick and do tons of burst damage. So once again, like, that should just be tons of right clicks on Taric. You got a few off, but you were like scared at first. You like backed out. It's really weird. Like, you're just playing very passive and afraid, and just really hesitant to get any right click harassing. And then just, you really should have gotten a Vamp Scepter. It has been okay up to this point because you had such a big item advantage over Corki, but now that he bought and has BF Sword, you're gonna really wish that you had that Vamp Scepter. So there's a good right click on Corki. Don't let him get that right click for free. Like, you could have just right clicked him as he right clicked you and then backed out and traded some damage with him, but you let him get that right click for free, which I think was a mistake. Once again, no reason to be that close to the minion wave. It was silly. You just missed a bunch of last hits going in for that exchange. And because you don't have sustain, you don't have that Vamp Scepter, that's a bad exchange for you. He's going to be able to heal that back up from Corki. Really, really waste of your summoner heal there, completely. I have no idea why you use that summoner heal. So summoner heal is not an ability you use to heal your partner when they're not in danger, like you just did. You healed Janna. A, summoner heal is not that useful to heal your partner because it heals for 50% less on them. And B, you don't use it in a time of safety as a form of sustain. You use it in the middle of battle to try to bait people and to stay in a battle longer. You don't use it in a time of safety. It's a complete waste of that summoner skill. Once again, Amumu's here, and what are you doing? This is really bad. Like, you need to be up in that gank. That's really, 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 really poor map awareness by you. And then if you went on Corki instead of Taric, you would have saved the Amumu. That's another big mistake. I know that yeah. So big mistake by you. First, this is just really, really poorly played. So first is you didn't react to that gank at all, really. Like, Amumu came and you ran back down to your turret. So that was your first big mistake. Your second big mistake is you went on the Taric. And I know that Taric was low, but you need to recognize that if you go on the Corki, you can force Corki away and he's not going to be able to jump and kill your two teammates. And now he has blue buff because Amumu had blue buff. So you just traded a 1 kill for you for a double kill on Corki, and now he has blue buff. And that would have been completely avoided if you just did damage on Corki instead of Taric. And this is something I've noticed in all of your engages. You are going on Taric and doing most of your damage on Taric, and you can't do that. So yeah, now Corki has blue buff. He's just going to be able to spam all day. And that came from, you know, you going on that Taric instead of forcing Corki away from you guys. So you're still behind about 20 CS on this Corki, so. Once again, though, you don't have any sustain. You have no Vamp Scepter, so you can buckshot him as you're running away, like just to even out the damage in that trade. Like the second Corki Valkyrie Den, you could have just buckshotted, and you would have been oh, double ward, bad double ward. You guys can contest that dragon. Like, I guess it's already done, but it was pretty obvious that's where they went, and I feel like you guys probably could have contested that. But once again, like, don't use that mana to get Taric off of you there. Because now Corki is going to come in, and like that mana needs to translate into damage on Corki and not damage on Taric. You can just right-click Taric like that. So that's good right-click harass on the Taric. But once again, like, you're going and you're just investing all this damage on Taric, and Corki is just going to shred you. So now you die because you did all that damage on Taric. Well, a good flash ult by Janna. You might be saved. Corki missing rockets, you really shouldn't. Man, if Koki could hit those rockets, he would have been dead. But that was a very risky play, and all stemming from, once again, you're going on the support instead of going on the AD carry. And that's what happens when you go on the support. When you go on the support, the AD carry just destroys you, and that's what happened. Like, if Koki didn't miss those rockets, you might have died. But you guys invested a lot of, like, you both used ults, you both used summoners, or no, you didn't have any summoners, but Janna used flash, and now you're missing a big wave of minions to your turret. So you got the kill on Taric, but you're gonna miss, like, A, you lost your turret, and B, you lost, I don't know, probably 2 waves, a wave and a half of OCS, so I don't even think that was worth it at all. There's no reason to say something like that at all. Like, this is why you don't play Mumu in ranked. Like, it's really poor form. And like, best case scenario, what's gonna happen? I mean, what's best case scenario gonna happen? That he never plays a Mumu in ranked again, even though he's a perfectly fine champion. I mean, I don't know. And worst case scenario, he gets really mad and effectively rage quits the game, and now it's 4v5 and you're guaranteed to lose. So, and he's probably already really mad at you because he reacted really poorly to 2 very good ganks he's had. Just reacted very slowly. So it just like, there's no reason to say anything like that. But yeah, so the big things in your game, you know, work on your last hitting. It's not bad, but it definitely could get better. Big thing is you need to understand how to harass in lane. There's been so many opportunities that you could harass and you're just not doing it. And then you need to react to ganks way better. Have just better map awareness. Work on controlling your mana. And then at bottom lane, if you engage on someone, it has to be the AD carry. You can't engage on the support. Unless you can just insta-give the support and get out, you can't engage. And this goes back to the mana. Like, there's no reason to W that right there, really at all. Like, it wasn't worth the 110 damage. I don't think it was, at least. Oh, bad. Okay, that was scary. Don't use your quick draw there. Your quick draw gets you out of Jarvan's ult. So, that you needed to save that quick draw in case Jarvan decided to ult you. He already used his combo, so you're safe. The only way that he's going to be able to do anything to you is if he ults you. And then you use your quick draw to get out of it. You don't use your quick draw in that situation, because in that situation if you have your quick draw, then he jumps on you, you can't do anything. So definitely a scary point there. And then here's another situation where you're using mana for no reason. Now you're 53 mana. You didn't need to do that. You could have just killed that wave by right clicking. Just you really need to manage your mana better. Like, there's absolutely no reason to get that. I don't know where you're going. Like, you could have just taken your red buff. I guess you wanted to do race first, but you're really close enough money for eye edge, and once again, just using mana for no reason. Yeah, I don't know why you went for race. You could have had red by now, and like, now that red buff is probably gonna get stolen if the enemy team goes and just checks right here. You just lost that red buff that you could have had easy. And you don't have enough mana to buckshot this to clear it out because you used your W on race for no reason. So once again, just really poor mana management is really hurting you. Like, one right click would have done exactly what that Q did. So yeah, it was a huge mistake not to go for this red buff. And a lot of people always wonder, like, what's the big difference between like a 12 or 1300 elo player and like a 1500, 1600 elo player? And one of the things that I really think happens is that people understand the importance of the buffs as you start getting into the gold ratings. Like, buffs are so important, blue and red buff. And the fact that you just walked by this red buff while you know your team is losing, it doesn't have very strong control of your jungle, is just such a big mistake. So you got like, what, you are not auto attacking enough. Okay, there you go. There's some auto attacks. Like, auto attack this Corki. You just keep walking back and forth without auto attacking anyone. Okay, so this is a really, really poor fight by you. Really, really poor fight. There were about 10 auto attacks that you could have gotten off there that you didn't. And I'm not even exaggerating. Maybe a little bit, but there are at least 6 auto attacks that you could have gotten off in that fight that you didn't. And that would have been dead Corki, 100% dead Corki, and probably dead Warwick. But you ran back and forth without auto attacking everyone. So already I can tell right there you're not using attack move, which you really need to be. If you were in that fight, it looked like what was happening is you would right click on the Corki and possibly misclick him, so you start running too close to him, and then you kind of freak out and you right click away to create more distance, and then you try to right click him again but maybe misclick, so you run back into him. That's what happens when you're not attack moving. What you need to do in that fight is you just, instead of trying to right click on Corki to attack him, you A plus left click or shift right click, and what happens is even if you misclick, you'll move until you're in range of something hostile and start attacking it. So you're never going to get too close like you were getting in that situation. And so that was a really poorly fought team fight for you. If you're not attack moving, you really need to, and it really looked from that fight that you weren't attack moving. Like, check your red buff. You're right here. The skull is up. You don't know if it's there or not. You're the AD carry. You love red buff. Like, this is big mistake not checking that red buff. You can't underestimate how important these buffs are. Like, there is a reason that if you watch pro matches, almost all of the fights happen to contest buffs, and it's still there. Amumu just walked by it. Like, this is very frustrating to see. There's a red buff sitting right here. You guys don't have map control, so it's very likely that it'll get stolen the longer that you leave it there, and you're not doing anything. You can just go get this red buff. Alright, so good pick by you, team. You guys are going to get a couple picks here. No reason, I was just going to say, please don't ult that. No reason to ult that at all right there. That was a 100% dead Taric. You know, they're not in danger. Once again, no one reacting to Amumu. Amumu getting a great gank on everyone, but you guys you're not there. And this is the third time now Amumu has gotten an amazing position to make a great play, and you haven't reacted to it. So you have to work on your map awareness. So I'm just gonna keep reiterating the things you need to work on. Learn how to harass in lane. When the enemy AD carry is going in for a last hit, you can right click them for free. When Taric has his stun down and he's like right next to you, just right click him. Second thing is manage your mana way better. You're always out of mana, and Graves is practically a caster, so that's not good. Someone should move behind this Mumu to block rockets for him. Yeah, he has to flash because no one was getting in a position to block rockets. And the other thing is, like, understand the importance of red buffs. The buffs are so important. And this red buff has sat, like, you guys have known it's up for at least 5 minutes. Like, 4 people have just walked right by it without taking it. It's very odd to me. That's really a poor decision on your part. The other thing is, like, in team fights, you have to auto attack. That's your job as an AD carry, is to auto attack in team fights. And if you're not getting auto attacks off, then you need to learn what you're doing wrong. Like, okay, you're not attack moving, because in that situation, if you attack move up to here, what'll happen is you'll stay at maximum range. You'll stay at maximum range and just attack whoever's closest. So instead of walking really close to where you panic right there, just go get your red buff, please. We just saw them at Dragon. This red buff is right here, easy to get. Also, you really need to get a vamp scepter at some point. You really should get it. So yeah, Janna's noticed this too. Have you ever thought about not using your skills off cooldown? She's noticed too that you're always out of mana, because you just use your abilities pretty randomly. You really need to work on that. You have very little mana control, and like I said, you always want to have enough mana for at least your QER and probably your W2. So you always want to save at least, looks like it's up to 250 mana plus that. So So 325 mana. You always want to try to stay at least above 325 mana so you have your full combo. We finally got the red buff. Okay, I could stop freaking out about that. But really, like, I can't believe that you walked by the red buff twice in 2 different situations and didn't just take it. It was very silly, Amumu. Don't ult this, please. You ulted it. You have red buff, you have eye edge, you have Amumu with you. There's no reason to ult that. There's no reason to queue this minion wave here. You're just wasting mana. Yeah, you didn't queue the golems. Oh, you did quick draw for no reason though. So you're just using all this mana for no reason. You need to stop that, and you need to stop using your ults on guaranteed kills. Like, you had that red buff slow on Taric all day. You had a Mumu. You guys are really fast because of Janna passive. He's not going to be able to run away. Even if he flashes, he's not going to be able to get away. So that ult just ended up wasting some mana. Ooh, that's very good that you didn't get through that wall. You would have been in serious trouble. You don't know where anyone on their team is. You know Taric's dead. But, yeah. See, and Jarvan was right there. So if you went through that wall, you would have died. That was very, very lucky for you that you didn't get through that wall. I saw you try, but there's always keep in mind, like where is the enemy team? You knew Taric was dead. You saw Veigar mid and Corki, so Veigar was really close to him if you went through that wall. And Corki was nearby, and then even if you went, like, I don't even think you could 1v1 Corki. He's bigger than you. He has more items than you. You didn't have your ulti, it was on cooldown, so that was just very scary aggression from you. This is really good for you guys. You can easily pick up this Warwick kill. Once again, like, no reason to ult this if you ult this. Yeah, no reason to ult that. Like, your ult didn't even connect because he was already dead. No reason to flash there. You have quick draw up. Okay, so big mistake by you on 2 parts. So completely wasted flash there. Completely wasted flash. Wasted heal again. So 2 big things in this team fight. I'm gonna pause it so I can talk about these. First is your flash. You didn't have to flash. Your quick draw was up. Hey, you weren't even in danger sitting in that Jarvan ult. There were 4 people and just Jarvan. Like, you were fine. And the other thing is that you had quick draw up. You can just quick draw out of Jarvan ult. You didn't have to flash. You could have just quick drawed and done the same thing. And then the second thing is, like, I talked about this before, but it doesn't seem like you understand how you're supposed to use heal as a summoner spell. So heal is, you don't use it to, like, as a sustain like you would maybe a Soraka or Taric heal. You use it to bait. So you use it, you let them think that you're about to die or a teammate's about to die, and you let them overextend because of it, and then you pop heal at the last second. Suddenly you have an extra 500 HP, you're not actually going to die, they're under turret or something, or in a bad position. That's when you use heal. You use it last second to save someone. You don't use it like, you guys are all running away, you're disengaged, you know, you guys are fine, but kind of low, so I'm just going to heal. That's not how you use a summoner spell heal. So those are the biggest things in this team fight. Like, you didn't have to flash, you wasted your summoner heal, you wasted both summoners, so that's what I'll have to say. So now that I paused it, the cooldowns are messed up on LoL replay, just so you know. Like, your flash and heal are not up, but because I paused it, it looks like they will be. Or maybe, was that Victor's heal? Maybe that wasn't your heal. Sorry, if that wasn't your heal, my bad, but if that wasn't your heal, I'm sorry, I yelled at you for no reason, but I know that you flashed. I thought you flashed. Now I'm all second guessing myself because the timers are all messed up from LoL replay, but yeah, so the other thing is that you really need to get a Vamp Scepter at some point here. Not having a Vamp Scepter yet is just kind of a mistake. Like, that lifesteal is really important. It's very helpful in fights and stuff, but so big things in your game. Manage your skills better. You use your skills for no reason. It just keeps you low mana a lot. You use your ult on guaranteed kills that are like 1v5 where you don't need to use that ult. This is very scary. You don't know where their team is. Be very careful. I wouldn't go much further than that. Alright, so that's fine. You ended up forcing the flash. It ended up being okay because it looks like his team wasn't there. And now Vigar's there. You do pick up the Corki kill, but you're probably going to die for it. No, you're not. Okay, so that was good. It was very scary because you didn't know where anyone on their team was. It turned out the Vigar was there. If he was there like 5 seconds sooner, before that Corki got really low, you would have been in serious trouble. But that play, it worked out for you. I don't think that's a play you should continue making in the future. That's a very, very risky play. Especially like you have a big killing spree gold, and like you're doing very well for your team. So losing you would be pretty serious detriment to your team. But a very scary play. I don't think I would do that again. It worked out for you just fine, but very risky. So you can go on this. They're all very low. You should be very aggressive. Just jumping right in there. At least taking this turret down because you can. They're all very low. You can continue pushing for the second turret easy. Like they have to base. They either have to base or you can just blow them up. Be careful about your team though. If you get Warwick ulted right there, you'd have been in a world of hurt. Which brings me to my next point. You should be building a QSS next. Probably. QSS will save you from Taric stun, Vigar stun, and Warwick ult, which would be really helpful in this situation. So that should be your next item you're building. You have your Vamp Scepter finally. Red buff's up. You need to go get red buff. I'm hoping that's what you're gonna do right now. Oh, you need to watch their Baron. No, there's well maybe. Looks like they kind of want to start Baron. They're not sure. Don't do wolves. There's no time to do wolves. You need to start poking them off. We know that they're sitting in this brush waiting. Yep. That was pretty obvious. Warwick actually. Oh no, bad Fiora. Yeah, Fiora's dead. Very silly on Fiora. Oh, gets out of the Vigar Dark Matter. That ult was an odd ult for you. I guess it ended up getting decent damage on Corki, but you can't go after it. Okay, this is once again. You can't go after someone else while the AD carry is beating on you like right there. This is very poor decisions on your part there. Poor team fight. You can't tunnel vision on the low health Warwick while Corki's sitting there destroying you. That's just really poor team fight. And then you should have known that Vigar was there. Like, you knew Vigar was up here. You're probably coming down. So turning onto that Corki was very dangerous. So sequence of pretty poor decisions by you in that team fight. Hopefully your team's going to be able to clean up, but it's not looking good. Oh, Mumu ult is back up, but no, Warwick ult coming down. This might cost you guys Baron. This might cost you guys the game. And that right there was just some poor decisions by you in that team fight. You can't tunnel vision on low health enemies and chase them through their team while you take big damage. Yeah, that's going to be Baron for you guys. It's unfortunate, but you should probably sell that Doran's Blade and pick up that Negatron for to build in that QSS. You really do need the QSS this game. Maybe Friday I might show you guys. My team just played this tournament game where I was Vayne and I picked up a pretty early QSS because they had a Skarner, and the Skarner used his ult on me 3 times in a row, and every time I just immediately QSS'd it, and we ended up just winning every fight because of it. And QSS is just such an important item. Like, you have enough right now if you go sell Doran's Blade to pick up that QSS, and that would just be huge for you. This is very scary positioning for you. Yeah, if Taric stunned you and their team was there, you would have been dead. So, very scary. Good thing that didn't happen. Go take your red buff, please. Yeah, good. You're saying I read. So let's review some things to work on. Early game. Watch your mana cost, please. You just spammed all day, used your abilities for no reason, ran yourself out of mana. Big thing number 2, harass in lane. Learn how to harass by right-clicking in lane. Big thing number 3, work on your team fighting. If you're not attack moving, make sure you're attack moving. If you don't know how or what that means, I wrote a guide it's gotten pretty good reception. If you go to my website rockalockalili.com and check the guide section, it's my only guide. This is very scary for you guys. You don't know where the enemy team is. I don't know why you've been sitting in there fighting. Right-clicking that Jarvan to get that red buff would be huge right now. So that was a good heal, since you know that they're going to dive you, but you guys are in really big trouble. That's on you. It's on you and Amumu, but definitely on you still. Like, I don't know why you guys are up here being in such an aggressive position against the enemy team while, like, you have 3 people back here. So, like, they have Jarvan and Warwick, Vigar, and Taric. That's a lot of CC. That's a lot of... I'm not even watching that because it's obvious you guys are going to lose. But... they have Jarvan, they have Warwick, they have Taric, they have Vigar. All of those guys can just catch you out of position and really make your life miserable. And we saw that's exactly what happened. So that's really, really, really poor decision by you guys to be out here in such an aggressive position with 2 people when they have Baron. So that's just a bad decision. But Amumu playing aggressive, you were with him. Like that's just on you as it is on him. So. So you need to buy this QSS. You have enough money. You really need a QSS right now. Like you got caught in Vigar's stun and died under turret. Would have lived if you had QSS. But anyway, big things to work on. Watch your mana cost. Don't waste spells. In lane, learn how to harass. In team fights, attack move if you're not attack moving to make sure you're staying at max range and getting auto attacks off. You have to get auto attacks off as an AD carry in team fights. Other thing, in team fights, don't tunnel vision on low health enemies. You have to keep in mind like how much damage you're taking, and you have to stay safe. Number 1 priority: stay safe and don't die in team fights. Number 5, don't waste your ult on guaranteed kills when it's like 1v5. And you just like use your ults and he already dies, so it just misses everyone. All those end up being pretty big mistakes. I'm gonna start fast forwarding because I actually have to go really soon here. Oh, wrong button. So we will fast forward. This is scary. Jarvan gets blown up, but you guys all get 3 caught in Vigar stun and end up getting worked. So you can definitely kill that Taric. This is actually a really good team fight for you guys, so it's good to see you guys picking up that team fight. You guys are gonna have to clear out though. Ooh, Jarvan picking up, or Warwick picking up the victor. Mumu DCs, that's not good. So we see the morale breaking on the enemy team. They've just initiated a surrender vote. Oof, you are almost getting chunked by Vigar. They're going to be very aggressive here, looking to go in. Oh, nope. Vigar stun misses, which is unfortunate. Oh, Warwick all coming down on Victor. Followed into the Taric stun. And lots of damage coming out from Corki. You guys are in trouble here. Right click this Jarvan. This is you were very slow on those right clicks there. This is not looking good. Looks like the game's almost over for you guys. That Amumu DC really hurts. Looks like that'll just be game for you guys. Getting caught by the Warwick ulti, but... Alright, so... This game, you didn't play bad, but... You were in a position to carry this team and do really well for yourself, but you made 2 massive mistakes in a row that really ended up throwing the game for your team. I'll watch this fight. So the first mistake that you made was, it was that Baron fight where Up here, you tunnel vision a low health Warwick and ended up getting wrecked by Corki, who you then tried to turn around to 1v1 only to find Vygar there. That was a very bad team fighting decision there. Lost you guys that team fight. Yeah, and lost you guys Baron. And then almost right after, you hang out with the Mumu up here in a very aggressive position while they have Baron and they have such a strong initiating team. And then they catch you guys, they kill you guys, and they steamroll down mid. And those two events in a row really caused you to end up losing this game. And then there are a bunch of little things that you really need to work on. Your last hitting wasn't great. And I've harped on this a lot, but managing your mana is huge, and you wasted abilities and spells for no reason, and it caused you to be low mana for a lot of the early game. The other thing is like your red buff. You just walked by your red buff like 3 times. That was infuriating to see. Red buff is so important. Make sure to get it. And then make sure your attack moving. If you don't know how to attack move, or if you don't do it as an AD carry, please read my guide on it. It's extremely important. It's an incredibly valuable skill to have as an AD carry. It's really essential to playing AD carry. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say. It looks like this game's over. Or no, I think it's messed up because I paused it. So, okay, looks like, whoa, Tarek TPing in to just die. That's pretty funny. Oh yeah, okay, there it is. Oh, you had QSS and you didn't use it? I'm confused there. But yeah, look to, as far as your item build goes, look to pick up that Vamp Scepter a lot earlier. Like, before you're going to build it into a Bloodthirster, just pick it up really early. Like, on almost any AD carry, your first 4 items you want to get is Berserker Greaves, 2 Dorans, and a Vamp Scepter. Even if you're not building Bloodthirster right away, even if you're going Infinity Edge, you still want that Vamp Scepter. Especially when you're with Janna, because she's a no sustain support, so that Vamp Scepter will provide you with that sustain. But overall, not a bad game by you. But because of those 2 big mistakes and just slight misplays throughout the game, you weren't able to carry your team because of those mistakes. So you need to iron out those mistakes and the small things like managing your mana, learning how to harass and attack moving, and keeping your auto attacks up in team fights, and just making better decisions in team fights, and you would have carried that game. But because of those big mistakes that you made, you end up losing that game. So alright, thanks a lot for watching though, guys, and I do have to jet, gotta go play some hockey, but I'll see you guys later.